B.S. gardener, and today I want to talk about watering. Watering is crucial to a plant's survival, and I'm going to talk about a few things today. I had set up on purpose a little rotating sprinkler head down here. A lot of people think they can take that sprinkler head and just put it on and everything's going to be watered. Now, I've been running that sprinkler there for more than a half hour, probably closer to 40 minutes. And it appears that the foliage is getting wet, but in actuality, it's not doing a darn bit of good. So for lawns, I think that's great, but for watering plants, it's bad. Another thing that people like to use is a lawn sprinkler, an oscillating sprinkler. This is the one with the fan that goes back and forth, and you can adjust it to go one way, both ways, whatever. Again, for a lawn, I can run this in 1 hour in one place, and I might get a ½ inch of water being soaked down. So I really don't like these for watering plants if you're doing that as well. Okay, so I've told you a couple things that I don't like to water your plants. Those two items I mentioned before are great for watering your lawn. Now, I have some hydrangeas here and a couple larger trees in here. And what I like to do to water these guys, two methods. If you have the time, I love this product here. This is a dram wand with a breaker head. It's got a little on-off valve. This puts out the perfect amount of water. You can get it down to almost a trickle, shut it off to a nice stream. And what I like to do is when I water is really soak the plant. The key to watering is to water so you know that plant is thoroughly moistened. And I'll water this plant here. I'll go to the next one, water it a little more, move on to the third one. Now, a lot of people would say that's done, that's enough. But again, deep watering, that's what I want to do. So I come back here to the first plant. I'm going over, I'm watering that one again. I'm going to hit the second one. Not putting a lot of water on, not to the point that it's running off, but just a good deep soaking. You have to remember that plants grow their roots where the water is, and if you just kind of tease them, they're going to have all top roots. And when it gets real hot in those dog days of summer, and we're experiencing a little bit at the end of June here today, the deeper the roots are, the better your plants are going to sustain. Now, panning up at these bigger trees here, a lot of people don't think about watering their trees. They've been established, they're doing well. You know, this is one of our driest seasons that we've had this year, and you have to water your big trees. I read an article one time that said a maple tree that's 25 to 30 feet tall could actually suck up more than 300 gallons of water in one day. So they're thirsty too. And because they're so large, they're not really going to show you the effect of things until next season. Okay, so we talked about the dram watering wand, which I love. Not everyone can afford a dram watering wand. So in order to water your plants, we've got your ordinary garden hose. Now you'll see that I've turned the water down to a very slow trickle. This is ideal for watering your plants. If you don't have the time to be out there all day using your watering wand, I'd like to see you run at about a 1/4 inch trickle. Now what we do is we take the hose and we put it at the base of the plant. That's a pretty established plant, probably 4-inch caliper, maybe about 15 feet tall. What I'd like to do is at that 1/4 trickle, let that run and soak in, probably anywhere from 20-25 minutes. The key there, again, is the deep soaking. And I love the simile where we talk about a sponge. Now the ground is dry. Think of a dry sponge. So if I just put a little bit of water to it, what happens? It beads off, it runs off. You really didn't wet your sponge. Now, on the other hand, if I put a slow trickle to it, I water it a little now, a little later, you're going to get that deep soaking in. Actually, the best time to water your lawn is after a rainfall because the ground has opened up, it's ready to receive moisture, and a lot of my neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but after we have 1/2 inch of rain or so, first thing I do is run out, hook that sprinkler up, and let it go back and forth. This way I get a deep, deep soaking. Again, it's all about the roots. So as you see here, I put the hose at the base, 15-20 minutes, or 20-25 rather. That's going to deep soak that so I know it's good and moist. I don't have to worry about that plant again. until I feel it needs more moisture. Once plants are established, it's so hard to say once a day, once every third day, once 5 days. You've got wind, you've got sun, you've got rain involved. So it's really tough to say. We have a flyer here at Pandy's we've printed up, which kind of gives you how long you should water plants. A plant like this size, again, the same trickle method, you probably want to do it about 5 to 8 minutes. That way it's good and deep soaked. You can actually take either a pencil or a coat hanger, bend it out straight, push it into the root ball around the base of the plant. If it comes out and it's muddy, that plant is probably too wet. If you push it in, you can't push it in, guess what? That ground is hard, it's dry. If it comes out dusty, it's dry. Definitely needs watered. If you push that in and you have a little bit of soil that clings to the edge of that pencil or that coat hanger, that's where you want your plants to be. So there's also moisture meters that you stick down into the basis and it'll tell you whether it's dry or wet. Those are a great investment too. They're not too much money either. Yeah, we wanted to talk about hanging baskets now. Hanging baskets are beautiful. A little bit tougher to monitor the watering. And here's a couple tips I'll give you. Of course, when a basket is heavy, that means it's well watered. When it's dry, less weight. So one way that you can tell, especially on some of these bigger plants, is to just kind of put your hand underneath it, give it a push up. Ooh, that one's heavy. That's good and moist. That's a great thing. You have to remember, on hot days like today when the sun's out and it's a little windy, your plants are going to need water. And plants are like humans. Some of them are going to take a little bit more water, some of them are not. So you have to treat each hanging basket as an individual. So if the plant is dry and you can pick it up with the greatest of ease, again, you know, these dram wands are great. Just put it right on there, soak it good so you know it's good and wet. So again, the last thing I want to talk about, you know, is watering. This is a great product here too. It's called a soaker hose. And what's great about a soaker hose is it's thin, and inside all these, there's little holes in here. You roll it out, this happens to be a 50-footer, lay it along your shrubs, you hook it up to your spigot, turn it on, and it does its thing. This will do a 50-foot area. A lot of people that have put in hedges, this is great for. If you have flowers, something that needs watered daily. Again, the key is deep soaking when you water. So follow these tips and you'll have great plants. And keep watching the No B.S. Gardener because I'll be back with more tips on keeping your garden green without the bull.